Well, hello everybody. Oh my gosh, it's been quite some time. Yeah, before you ask anything, school, traveling, and all sorts of various problems in my personal life. But hey, I'm back now, and I finally have a new clock for you to see. This is one of the free clocks that I bought 2 weeks ago, I believe. I can't honestly remember. And speaking of those free clocks, this is one of them. You have seen it in my most recent community post. Yeah, I wasn't sure whether it was dead or not, but now I am fully convinced that it is, because I experimented with it a little bit, and yeah, I now need to find a spare movement from which I need to harvest a new escape wheel. But whatever. Now, moving on to the actual subject of this video, here is a very interesting desk clock, which was made by Cyma in Switzerland. I have no idea what's the correct way to pronounce that name. I'll just pronounce it the way I do in Romanian, like Cyma. But yeah, it's an electromechanical clock made in the 1960s. The case is solid brass and it's really heavy. It has this nice boxy design, which I love. And it runs on a D-size battery. I'm not quite the biggest fan of these solid brass desk clocks, since they usually have Swiss 8-day movements, which aren't of much interest to me. And they also go for ridiculous prices. Sadly, this one wasn't an exception. It was quite expensive. But it was worth every single leu, I guess, that I spent on it. Because it's one of these electromechanical clocks that you don't see every day. One thing which might give away what the special thing about this clock is the fact that it has a half-second tick. As you might see, the second hand receives an impulse every half a second, which I quite like. I don't know, there's something about these half-second ticking clocks which make them appeal to me for some reason. I don't know, it's really cool. So, yeah, now scrolling through the electromechanical movements that I know which have a half-second tick, I can think of perhaps a Glashütte Elektrochron, but that's certainly not the case. And there's also a second option. There is one other particular movement which has a half-second tick, and was produced in Switzerland, in La Chaux-de-Fonds. I think that's what you pronounce it, hopefully. And to cut the chase, I'll just show it to you. But first of all, here's the back of the clock. It has a nut up there, which you unscrew. Okay, give me one sec. Yeah, and after that is unscrewed, the back door opens. Come on, please. Give me one sec. Okay, and as I was saying, the back door opens like so. And this is the movement inside the Cyma desk clock. And now, with proper lighting conditions, you might be able to see it better. So, for those of you who don't know, this is a highly valuable and quite rare electromechanical movement, which was made by Portescap in Switzerland. You can see up there it says Portescap Swiss made. And this movement was also used in Secticon clocks, and that might ring a bell to some of you. It's way smaller than I imagined it. Like, when I first saw one of these on YouTube, I thought it was about the same size as a regular quartz movement, perhaps a little bigger, but apparently not. It's really small. I mean, wait one sec. Here's my hand for comparison. Yeah. I have no idea what I'm doing or how I'm supposed to be doing this, but oh well. Yeah, this thing is insanely small. It has a couple of markings on it. There's a serial number. Next to the starting lever it says 13 joules unadjusted, and below that, Cyma Watch Company. That is the regulator and the setting knob, and those are the contacts for the battery. The battery cage is right next to the movement. And yeah, the motor spins way faster in reality, but that's just how the camera picks it up, I guess. And up there, wait, give me one sec, change my position. That is the escapement, which gives an impulse every half a second. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what the actual working principle of this movement is, so what you're going to hear now is purely speculation. But if you do know how this works, then please write that down in the comments, as it will be useful for me and other viewers who stumble upon this video. Okay, so what I believe happens here is, you can see that the motor is constantly spinning, and the arbor on which this electromagnet, I don't think it's an electromagnet, whatever, on which this thing rests, is pivoted up there, sorry, right next to the escape wheel. You can see that there is a jewel right next to that golden hairspring. And yeah, this motor then drives the escape wheel, which is a rubber driving wheel that you see in there, because I don't know, it's just a brass wheel with some sort of rubber coating on the edge. It's almost like a tire, I believe, but whatever. Yeah, this driving wheel is driven by the motor, and after giving the first impulse via this lever, the driving wheel starts turning, and it continues to give impulses to this brass arm, which acts as some sort of pallet fork, I believe. I don't know. It's linked to the balance wheel in any case. So yeah. And the same energy provided by the motor is then transferred through a worm gear, which is in the center of the screen, to the seconds wheel, which is now in the center. I believe it's plastic, and I really hope it isn't. And from there it goes to the rest of the movement. I have no idea whether you understood what I said or whether it is correct, but to sum it up, motor spins the driving wheel, escapement controls the release of energy, which is then transferred through the worm gear to the actual movement, and it drives the hands and stuff. So yeah, that is hopefully how this thing works. And this was one of the most accurate clocks of its time. it has what they call a chronometer type escapement, which provided high accuracy. Now normally, I would take this thing out to show the movement in better detail. But given the fact that this thing is really sensitive, I am not gonna try, not in a million years, to even touch the plastic cover of this movement. Nah, joking. Oop. But yeah, whatever. I am not going to take this out for you. It's just way too dangerous, and I think the plastic cover provided enough insight on this. I don't know if what I said is correct, but whatever. The movement is pretty safe where it is now, and in case something goes wrong, I won't be able to find any spare parts for this, or at least not in this lifetime. There's higher chances of finding another complete working movement than actually finding spare parts for this thing. That rubber driving wheel is very sensitive, especially that bit at least, so yeah. I don't know whether this is normal or not, but you might be able to hear that the movement makes some whirring noises. Yeah, it occasionally makes some whirring noises, which I believe is caused by a worn jewel on the motor arbor. And also, I don't know whether I'm going to keep this clock permanently running or not, because I am not sure whether the wear will get worse or not on the jewels or the rubber drive wheel and stuff like that, so I don't know. For now, I'll keep it running though, because it's really cool and also highly accurate. And on the bottom of the clock there's a sticker from most likely a retailer who sold this clock. During nighttime, the clock stays up here. But normally, I keep it on top of my Yantar calendar clock, which I managed to fix after almost a year. So yeah, that's kind of it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you liked the clock. And I don't know, we'll see each other in the last clock collection video of this year, or perhaps a little earlier on a live stream, but we'll see. Anyways, I was Luca, and we'll hear again from each other some other time. Bye bye!